been your biggest obstacle you've had?
In 2017, I was diagnosed with very high cholesterol, prediabetes, and was 42 pounds overweight. And my doctor wanted to put me on medication. I didn't want to do that. So I researched how to get my numbers down naturally, which was eat healthy, drink water, exercise, and sleep, which, everybody knows that, but it's like, okay, now that I have that information, what do I do with that information? And so I created a 24-hour challenge for myself just to try to break the bad habits and the bad health that I'd gotten into. And so after 24 hours of doing everything right, I felt better than I'd felt, and I don't know how long. And so,
4 hours at a time, or what do you mean by 24-hour challenge?
so, so the 24-hour challenge is basically 24 hours of doing everything right. So eat healthy, drink water, exercise, sleep. So it tells you basically wake up, here's what to do. And so the challenge is like what to do and how to do it. So the reason why I set it up that way is a friend of mine that I talked to right after I had done the 24-hour challenge said that her doctor's always telling her what to do, but not how to do it. So I basically like walk you through how to live a perfect day, which of course you can't do that every day. But once you realize that you want to change your life from unhealthy habits, then to do the challenge is just to make up your mind to do everything right for just 24 hours. And if in my case, just after 24 hours, I felt so good. Like hadn't felt that good in a long time because my body was so happy that I was taking care of it, as opposed to what I had been doing prior to that, which was not taking care of it and letting everything in my life get in the way. And so that's basically after 24 hours. Now, granted, you can't have a perfect day every day. So that's why I say for the 24 hours, you are going to do everything right. But then after that, it's just striving to live that way, knowing that challenges are going to come up and that you are not always going to be able to do everything right, but just to at least strive for that. And in my case, after 4 months, I went from being pre-diabetic to not being pre-diabetic. My cholesterol numbers that had been very high were going down, and I was starting to lose weight. And after a year of living this way, at least trying to live this way, lost 42 pounds and have kept it off for 3 years. So
So what I'm hearing is that you look at it like, just for these 24 hours, can I do such and such? And then you get to the
yes,
24 hours and you say, maybe I can do it for another 24 hours and then keep it up. Because what I'm hearing, and I know that a lot of women that I deal with are facing that obstacle where they, that, what do you call it, where the tires hit the road, it's in your face. You had it in your face. Your doctor, there's no getting around it. And in a way, I think we put out to the universe what we need back. Perhaps you needed that. There's something about it. Why, you knew that. You knew what you were doing, but it's kind of like, I'm kind of doing it. And then the doctor said it. And then look what it's led to. You said, okay. And I think that we all have to that point where we're going to be like, look, you do it or you don't. And
right.
how long, and you chose to do that because you chose life, because you realized
Yes.
not working. You didn't listen to your body, which we all have not in many paths, and your body was screeching to you,
Oh
screeching.
yeah. It was
Too.
it was screeching pretty loudly. But I felt terrible all the time, but I didn't care until I got that report. And then I realized I was so busy taking care of everybody in my life, my elderly mother, my family, and working full time, that I wasn't taking care of myself. And I realized if I keep down this road, I won't be around to take care of everybody.
I think that we women put ourselves behind everyone. I know when my children were growing up, I always just everything revolved around them. I wanted to be sure, and I was always concerned about, well, am I spending enough time? Am I doing? And what I wanted, I didn't even know. I
Mm-hmm.
knew who I was after I got divorced. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I like. I, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It took
Right.
just putting yourself, and now your children are getting older. And do you find that now that you are on this, I don't know if the word is cleaner path, or
Well, a healthier journey is the way I describe it.
do you find that you have a clarity in ideas that come to you and how?
Oh, I noticed that right away. I noticed that so one thing, just so you know, leading up to this, I was addicted to sweets, like really badly. And part of the 24-hour challenge is you're doing everything right. So you don't eat sweets like the processed sugars. And I did have fruit, which, is a healthy sugar that your body, processes differently than, processed sugar. And I haven't craved sugar since I've been doing this. And sugar is so bad for you. And so I think that, just by not eating the bad foods and ensuring that I put healthy nutrients into my body every day, that yes, that is one of the things I noticed almost from the beginning is I could think more clearly. I could come up with ideas. I could, even like puzzles. I could do puzzles more quickly. Just, I like Sudoku, for example, and I can do it faster, and just like you said, just thinking more clearly. And even with my businesses too, is like, ideas come to me. I can understand things better, just from taking care of myself. It's just amazing how just taking care of yourself can change your life.
Has it changed your relationship any one way or the other with your spouse?
um yeah, I mean, I have a really good relationship with my spouse to begin with, but um I would say yes. I think that in areas where I used to maybe be impatient, I was not as much. And I noticed also leading up to me doing my lifestyle, things would get to me, like even just hearing somebody chew, like chewing their food would get to me. And afterwards, it's like it just didn't bother me anymore. But one of the things I do though is I exercise pretty much every day, and that really helps you too as far as thinking clearly.
What do you do? What kind of exercise?
So I actually have an indoor bike. So whenever I used to be healthier years back, I was a cyclist because that's something I enjoy doing. And one of the things, whenever I had gotten in such bad health, is I didn't have quote unquote time to exercise, and because I was thinking go out on a bicycle outside, and I just didn't have time. So now with an indoor bike, I just simply ride my bike while I work. The handlebars are down by my hips, and so I bought a table and had somebody build me a stand. And my computer is actually in front of my indoor bike, and so while I work, I ride my bike. So that was a way to fit in exercise, because a lot of times people they think of exercise as this hard thing or this time-consuming thing, and it's all about just figuring out how to incorporate it in. So sometimes I'll just turn on music and dance around the house because I do like to dance. Sometimes I'll go to dance classes as far as like what to do. I like to walk. I have something called a trike, TRYKKE, and I ride that around my neighborhood. Because it's important to get outside, because that's another thing that helps your health is getting outside, getting the vitamin D producing results from the sun. But also, that's another thing that helps clear my mind. If I'm struggling with a problem or trying to figure something out, sometimes you just need to like walk away from it and give yourself a break, and just going outside and getting fresh air and sunshine. A lot of times, my brain will clear up and be like, oh, okay, here's an idea. And then I get back to it. So those are some things I do.
That's beautiful. And the thing that I'm hearing is that number one, you realized you had a problem and you listened to it, albeit it was in your face. And that's what happens with, I know a lot of us, I know it happened with me. And number two, you decided to consistently stick to a plan of action and
Oh,
your
yes.
results. And so what I'm hearing is that this is, sometimes I think people think there's like some magic clue when somebody says, oh, I released 42, 50 pounds. The magic is that we're consistent, you're consistent.
Make up your mind, because what I like to say is where the mind goes, the body will follow.
Absolutely. Yes. And we change our brains, we can change our lives. And that is, how it is. The situations may be the same, but we may have a different attitude towards the situations.
Right. Well, my doctor said that usually when he tells people results like that, they want to go on medication. They just want a pill to take care of it. And he's like, not many people like change their entire lives like you did. I'm like, yeah, but I feel so much better. I feel good almost all the time,
And you're helping,
just from being healthy.
yeah, wait, I'm sorry, you're helping other people too. And
Yes. Well, so that's one, you say that everything happens for a reason, or you kind of insinuated that. And I totally believe that. I believe that I had to go through this because, I mean, I've been healthy in the past and I just let myself go, is how I got in such bad shape. And I believe that happened to me so that I could help others. And then I just think it's so important then when we learn something that we should pass it on and help others.
yeah, and when we have peace with that, because I think that also being in that, I call it the sandwich generation, where you have the
Yes.
you got an elderly parent, and then you've got the children. And it doesn't matter
Yes.
if you're at home or not. It might be, they could be 20, 25, and you still have a concern with them. And it
Right.
can be quite a weight around your neck.
So yes.
What, do you have a quote that you like that you could share with us?
I actually have two
Great,
favorite quotes,
good.
and I'll tell you why I like them. So before when we were talking and we started recording this, you mentioned something that I thought, oh, she's going to like my quotes, and that is the first one. It is never too late to be what you might have been,
Ooh. Who did
and
that?
that George Eliot. And the reason why that's important to me is because, one thing you were saying earlier is that you kind of like live your life and maybe not realize who you are in particular. And in my case, that's what I was doing. It was like, okay, you get married, you have kids, you work a job, and to be able, I mean, I love volunteering. And so for me to be able to realize I could go out on my own as an entrepreneur, and I was not 20 years old, 30 years old. I was older. I was actually over 50 when I went out on my own. And this quote actually helped me. It was like, you know what? You've always wanted to do this. You've always wanted to go out on your own. You've always wanted to help others. And it's not too late, to be what you might have been. And so that's why that's important. And then the other one that I like is uh, continuous effort, not strength nor intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. And that was Winston Churchill.
Repeat that
And
last.
it,
I didn't,
con,
I want to focus on that.
continuous effort, not strength nor intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. So what I like about it is that you don't have to be strong, you don't have to be intelligent, just continuous effort, keep working at it, don't give up, keep working toward your goal, and then that is how you will actually unlock your potential. That one's another one of my favorites.
I really like those, both of those. I'm gonna have to copy those down as soon as we stop the interview. I'm gonna have to write those down because that there's always something. And I love asking people about quotes because those, the few words that are in quotes, I can
Mm-hmm.
pick that up, and when I'm feeling down and say, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what I'm doing this for.
I'll tell you one story that really inspired me was Walt Disney. Is that he did his cartoons and caricatures and stuff for like 5 years before he really made money at it. And so in my case, whenever sometimes I'm doing well with my business and sometimes when I'm not, I think, yes, but if you just keep kind of like the continuous effort, just keep working at it, keep plugging away at it. If it's something that's important to you, don't give up and just keep going. I mean, look at him and look at what his, his legacy is from just doing that, persisting. It's just so important.
And one person I want to add because he's like my hero is Colonel Sanders. He started
Okay.
eating fried chicken when he was 63 years old. And that gives me hope because I am 65 and
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So yeah, so that will go along the first quote about it never being too late to
that,
be what you might
that
have
really,
been. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, because I was like, oh my God, I started feeling a little moistening in my eyes because I thought, that's me, because we're not, it's just a number.
It's just a number. Exactly. I mean, you're only as old as you feel. So I'm what, 30 then, I guess.
Uh, a little older. I think I'm about 45.
Oh, okay.
40, 50. 50 is good. It's better as I get older and older.
I have found that out.